Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Leading in the Moment. Today we are joined by Courtney Nelson. She is the Vice President of Marketing and Communications at Goodwill. Courtney, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
All right, exciting times for you guys. You guys just reopened 21 of your 90 stores here in the Valley. And I know while we're dealing with the health crisis, you guys are addressing those issues as well. But also this has to do a lot with the economic impact we're feeling as a community. And you guys are doing it the responsible way. You shut down, you're making sure everything is up to CDC standards. And then tell us about what went into the decision-making process to reopen the 21 out of the 90 stores.
Yeah, absolutely. So Goodwill is a self-funded nonprofit. So through our retail stores, by the donations that we collect and sell in our stores, we're able to fund our mission programs with living out our vision of ending poverty through the power of work. So the way we do that is providing no cost career development, training, and education resources. And that's to anyone in the community that needs those services. We know right now, more than ever, those services are critical. Unemployment has skyrocketed. Businesses are closing down their doors. So people need to get back to work, and Goodwill provides those services, but we can't provide those services without the funding from our retail stores.
So tell me about what changes have been made if I go into a neighborhood Goodwill. What's different now, post-COVID crisis as opposed to pre-COVID?
Yeah, absolutely. So when we had to make the very hard decision to close our stores a couple weeks ago, we knew that we wanted to reopen as an essential business, but we wanted to take every precaution that we could, following the CDC guidelines and going in and making sure the store was safe, clean, and ready to reopen for both our employees as well as the community and our shoppers. So we went in and did a thorough sanitization of the entire store, completely cleaned them. We put up plexiglass guards at our cash registers. We also are doing the social distancing practice of the 6 feet in between people at checkout, as well as a flow through the store. So really helping our customers follow a flow to help keep them socially distanced as they shop the location. We have masks and gloves for all of our employees, and that's both in the donation side as well as on the retail side with our shoppers and our customers. And then we also are spraying a disinfectant spray on all of the items that are donated to the location. So when something's donated, we spray those down before they even make it out onto the sales floor, helping just one more layer of protection for our community and for those shoppers coming in the doors.
So you just mentioned donations. Is it business as usual, or are things running like, we were talking about this before, where everybody's home right now, cleaning out their garage, cleaning out, their attics, and they have piles and piles of stuff to donate. So are those still operating as usual?
Yeah, absolutely. We actually never stopped the operations of collecting donations. We've seen in other markets where organizations aren't able to collect those donations, the community continues to drop things off. It's just kind of second nature. They are home, they're organizing, cleaning out closets right now, and we are grateful for anybody to drop off donations. But our other commitment is to make sure that we keep those donation areas safe and clean for our communities. So we knew if we weren't able to provide those services, people would continue to drop off. So we continue those operations under reduced hours of 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And again, following those safety practices recommended by the CDC, those donation attendants are wearing gloves, they have masks, they have the disinfectant spray to be able to use on all those donated items. We also tell our donors they don't have to get out of their vehicle if they don't want to. If they want our donation attendants to take the items from their trunk, or if they prefer to get out and donate items, we have rolling bins at every location, but the donors are welcome to go and drop the bins off themselves. And then our donation attendant will come out and bring those in to the location. So taking every safety precaution that we can, knowing that people still want to be able to clean out their closets, organize their homes right now, and we want to be available for them.
Talking to you earlier, I connected with the story of what Goodwill is going through right now and what a lot of local businesses are, where initially when you had to shut down, how hard that was, and you had to let go a bunch of employees, and you had to shut down the stores and the people that depended on those stores. And now you're trying to accelerate out of this, reopening stores, reopening some of the career centers. How hard was that initial shutdown, and now tell me about sort of the optimistic approach to coming out of this.
Sure. It was really hard to shut down our stores. And that was a couple weeks ago when Governor Ducey came out and executed the stay-at-home order. And we knew we were an essential business, and we had already been working with Governor Ducey and his team to define and make sure that we were considered an essential business. But we wanted to take every safety measure, make sure we were doing everything that we could to get those stores prepared and ready for shoppers to come back in, and also keep our employees safe. So it was a very hard decision to close down, because when we did, we had to part ways with several hundred of those retail employees and their family to us. So it was a big decision. It was a big impact to our organization, but we know it was the smart and responsible thing to do. We took the time while we were closed to go in, completely disinfect all of those stores, and then implement those safety precautions that we talked about in order to get them ready to then slowly reopen some of the stores that reached multiple communities and provided that shopping opportunity, as well as then the mission opportunity throughout the Valley.
Yeah, I got to imagine a lot of those employees were thrilled. Again, not that we're, out of this yet, but you took the proper steps to make the adjustments, and then some of those employees that were let go then got the phone call saying, hey, we're reopening some of these stores. We've taken the proper steps. We're responsible. How would you like your job back, right? You got to have some of those phone calls.
Absolutely. And those were the best phone calls to be able to have right now. And that was about a week and a half ago. And we were able to call about 400 team members and offer them their jobs back. And we were able to bring them back with their tenure in place. So bringing them back at the same pay that they left with, benefits at the same level that they left with. And they were excited. They wanted to be back. They wanted to be working, being able to provide that great shopping experience. And then our team members know the impact they have on the community by being able to fund our mission programs. So everyone was excited, working really hard last week to get those stores ready. And then yesterday, the stores were so excited. The team members were ready to go. And every customer that came in through our doors, they were just thankful that we were back open, showed their appreciation to the team members that were working, and then, of course, doing everything that they could to make that shopping experience as safe as possible for them.
Staying on the employment side of things, tell us about the career centers. I know you reopened 4, but how vital those are to the community as well, because Goodwill isn't just showing up and buying products. The career centers have a huge impact, right?
Absolutely. Our stores exist to fund those mission services, and that's done through the career centers and our virtual services. So a few weeks ago, we actually made another hard decision to close down our career centers initially to be able to provide services virtually. We have a website, mycareeradvisor.com, where anybody can connect with career navigators. They can get help with resume building, interview skills, or additional training services, whether that's computer services or even up to IT technology skills. So we were able to continue to provide services. But what we saw over the weeks, as unemployment skyrocketed, businesses were closing down, people were getting hours reduced, a lot of individuals in our community didn't have computers at home, and they didn't have access to internet service. So we knew it was critical for us to reopen some of these career centers in order to provide those essential services to the community. So we opened 4, and that was last week, with reduced hours, also taking safety precautions at all of those locations, the social distancing, so distancing those computers out what they're working on, wiping down the stations after every use, and then every 15 minutes going ahead and wiping down the whole center as well, reducing the number of job seekers that are coming into our centers, as well as then limiting them to an hour of work time so that we can have those stations available for multiple of those job seekers throughout the day. So we knew those services are critical. And a lot of those people are coming in and they're finding employment right now. Employers are hiring, grocery stores are hiring, distribution centers are hiring. So if they just got laid off due to the COVID-19 impact that is hitting everybody very hard right now, they were able to get back on their feet pretty much a week later. Or if they're unable to, we can also help them to file unemployment. So doing our part to help everybody in the community that is being so greatly impacted.
Yeah, I just saw the stat over here, and correct me if I'm wrong, but with just last week alone, you guys were able to connect over 100 people to employment, to finding new jobs, correct?
Absolutely. And that's 100 people that last week were able to find employment. And that doesn't even touch the surface of how many people we're talking to every day that are getting assistance with services. So every day we're talking to at least 500 people, that whether that is connecting them to an employer or providing those training services to them or just giving them hope. A lot of these people are finding themselves unemployed for the first time and they don't know where to start. They don't know where to go. And so just having that conversation with a career navigator to help provide a little guidance and provide a little empathy to them right now. We all need that. It's an unprecedented time. And so anything that Goodwill can do to help ease the concerns, but then get people back on their feet, that's what we're here to provide.
Absolutely. All right, Courtney Nelson, Vice President of Marketing and Communications over at Goodwill. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks, Courtney.